In this game world, our character is a real entity, a silent guide that shapes the life of a human being from the very first moment. And that human being is a newborn child whose entire story will unfold based on your unconscious choices. The very first choice you make is also the most symbolic one. You decide to begin your story as a baby boy or a little girl. I didn't want this to be a simple menu selection. No buttons, no text. Instead, this moment is represented through imagery that mirrors the nature of destiny itself. It's soft, abstract, and dreamlike, almost like stepping into the child's very first breath of existence. From that instant, the story begins to write itself, through you. As the child grows, every path you choose will unfold into a different story, shaped by the small but meaningful experiences of life. These stories are simple, intimate, almost life of life, inspired by movies like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Stand By Me, or Lady Bird, where everyday moments slowly build deep, believable characters. Your choices don't just change events, they change who the child becomes. After this introduction, the real core of the game begins. The child starts to grow, and with each step, the world reflects pieces of their emerging personality. But here's the important part. The game never directly tells you what you are choosing. There are no dialogue trees, no moral points, no explicit decisions. Instead, your choices are into the environment, into music, colors, shapes, and the spaces you are naturally feel drawn to. Every interaction subtly defines the child's traits, and these traits will form them across three major phases of life: childhood, adulthood, and old age. Each stage unlocks new worlds, new emotional tones, and new milestones. For the very first chapter, I'm focusing heavily on two major personality paths: introversion and extroversion. But again, you don't pick them, you feel them. By that, I mean telling a story with characters, events, and developments with that main theme in mind. If you wander into smaller, enclosed, dim, desaturated areas, Destiny interprets that as a tendency toward introversion. These spaces feel safe, quiet, reflective. They guide the story into more internal experiences. If instead you move toward open, bright landscapes, saturated colors, wide views, energetic shapes, you're expressing extroversion. The story then becomes more social, adventurous, connected with the outside world. You are not choosing a label, you are choosing an atmosphere that feels right in the moment, and that moment shapes the entire storyline. This main choice works like the backbone of the child's life. Once defined, it influences the experience they had, the challenges they face, and the emotions they learn to understand, all without ever telling the players explicitly what they did. All this will be the main story that will connect all three chapters of the game, which will have their own themes and situations that will add depth to the main storyline. But the world doesn't end there. Across the map there are many other subtle decision points, each one designed to refine the child's personality even more. They are like side missions, not mandatory, but if done, they let you know our character more. For example, you might reach a calm lake, perfectly still, peaceful, near a vibrating hill full of moving flowers, sound, and energy. By simply choosing where to go, you define whether the child develops a calmer, more balanced nature or a more restless, expressive one. Again, no labels, no explanations, no UE pop-ups, only sensations and stories based on emotions. Then there are areas dedicated purely on worldbuilding, scenes that tell you about the child's environment, where they live, what their family situation is, how their world is structured. These don't offer choices, they exist to give context and make the story feel grounded and believable. And all of this, every memory, every shift in personality, every moment of growth, is portrayed through hand-drawn illustrations. The drawings are now made with AI, but my intention for the final version is to contact an artist as soon as possible to collaborate with. Do you have any connections? Or would you like to propose? Let me know. And building the narrative visually like a moving storybook guided by player intuition. The more the child grows, the more these drawings evolve with them. from simple forms to complex scenes that reflect maturity and life experience. So, to summarize, you don't just explore a world, you shape a life. You guide a newborn from childhood to adulthood, define their story, personality, and emotional landscapes through choices that feels natural, instinctive, and deeply personal. You are destiny, and the world responds to every step you take. Thank you for watching this devlog. If you want more updates, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know what part of this concept you are most curious about.